Starline. Starline was originally, if you go back to Helena Troy, she actually was actually launching Starline ships, wooden ships. Um, Helena Troy started basically what all the queens did, which was basically launch ships. Helena Troy used a jug. Anyway, though, if you wanted to know about all the different ships that Starline had actually built, mostly it started carpentry shops, and eventually all the carpentry shops, there were like 30 of them or 40 of them around the world, were eventually consolidated into 2 or 3 different purposely built large shipyards like Belfast and stuff like that. And if you want to know about the ships that were actually built, there was a display at the Crystal Cathedral, the Crystal Palace, or whatever. There were 3 of them built around the world, and they were built in colder climates with all glass roofs. Basically, they were completely glass buildings and built. And the theory was what was that the light or the heat from the sun would actually keep them warmer than a traditional skin. The glass was provided by not Belfast. Well, what's that place? Birmingham. That's right. Where the money mint was, my first money mint. Anyway, though, if you want to know about there's this big showroom basically, and as you walked in, they had food and soda and everything like that, and you could pay like 2 shillings or 3 shillings, and there were different times. It's written about somewhere, and they kept a log of all the people that went in basically, and you could buy food, or it covered a soda, a drink, and food, 2 meals or a meal or something like that for going in. And of course there was midnight and off hours. And it was lit, of course, by tantalum lights, of course. The Starline, basically provided by the Lamar Electrical Company, or one of them, basically the Starline private electrical company. Anyway, though, there was this table, and the feet of the table were carved. It was a wooden table, great big long one. There were 4 of them actually, and there were some 50 ship designs on the table, basically wooden ships and other ships, basically. And the wooden table had basically little elephants at the bottom, and for every one of those elephants that held up the table, that represented 80 elephants that Starline that I had over the years, basically, or taken care of. Basically, my elephants, there had been, for every elephant there were 80 or 10,000 elephants that are associated with every elephant on the table, on the holding up the table. So anyway, it meant a lot of different things, but basically those were the Starline ship designs. A whole bunch of wooden galleons and lots of stuff over the years, all the ship designs. And if you went into it, this place was huge, by the way. If you went into another part of the place, it also had all the different things that were made around the world by all the different tribes and all the different peoples, like the coats and stuff. And many people bought chandeliers and bought stuff. You couldn't actually buy from the show itself, but you could talk to the people who had provided it. And it was kind of like the first World's Fair or first World Store back in 1812 or something like that. Anyway, though, so you could order stuff, that the people had manufactured, and many people did order stuff. As you walked in, there was a great big glass, leaded glass display, basically, that was lit from underneath, and it was a big fountain. And they even had rose water scented water that made the place smell better. So anyway, and then at the very top, there's this great big steam organ, basically, that would play music throughout the entire hall. Anyway, on another part of it, there were full-size steam trains that were the Lusphur Starline or Hazazel Starline, my steam trains, basically. There were 4 or 5 or up to 16 steam engines housed inside of another part of the building, where you could walk in and you could see the whole full-size steam engine, basically. It was powered by a steam power plant that was placed built nearby, and of course, believe it or not, there was actually a thorium reactor that was also used in one of these things. The first time that nuclear power was ever shown was actually at one of these shows, where they actually had a small thorium reactor that was we made sure that it was completely safe and completely everything, and it actually powered the steam organ, actually, because it provided power, and it also provided steam for the steam organ through a baffled, what's called system, where you use one water, the nuclear radioactive water to heat another water, like a 3 baffled system, basically. to make sure that the water was in fact safe. Anyway, and it only functioned for a little while, and then it was taken down, of course, like that. So anyway, it's just a showing of basically technology, and also a very large part in Earth's history. Anyway, though, so if you want to know about Starline and everything I was as Hazazel Lusphur Starline before I became 2 Bri, well, actually I was 2 Bri 3 LE, and then I changed to, or 2 LE 1 EL as Nathaniel, and changed to 2 Bri and, you know, Nerb, air spelled backwards, Brian. So anyway, Alexander Briley. So anyway, I left lots of hints to exactly my identity and how people could find me, and my people would always know where I was. So anyway, and theoretically there's life form types on all planets around us, and even though people will say he's insane, he's crazy, it's like, no, everybody does know. The Belfast, like I said, Belfast is Celeste. If you take Celeste, SELLES, and you wrap it around and put the 2 S's together, you get an 8, a figure 8, and ELL, basically. That's how you get Bell. So anyway, and I was also Lesseps and also Aaron and stuff like that. So that's basically me. And as Brian, I was a heavy equipment operator and had some fun basically working and stuff like that while they were denying me and trying to kill me and everything else. So crazy, but like I said, I'm not a part of crazy camp. That's the Republicans, Democrats, and the Jehovah's Witnesses. And Rodney Dean Briley, who played fake Lucifer, and also Rick Bush. So anyway, though, I am the real and actual Lucifer, and the one that they were trying to get rid of for so long, or deny or keep secret.